with entitled The Aid Pan the Case. So inside 2015, the Maishaka Wellington toll gate been signed, and they increased the fee inside 2024. Inside 2020, inside 2013, government be signed 10-year contract agreement with NetPage for produce biometric passports them. Each one cost $100. But according to the 2023 audit service report, NetPage no pay over 744 US dollar royalty way for B go inside the government. So IGR been pull a report where they look at how the contracts them way been don't sign, how then contracts then they if waiting be there now the contracts them citizens and only benefit from. So the report shows say the average of 21 million then the common the Wellington Maishaka toll gates every year. And we sum up to, we estimate all, it is sum up to $172 million where then they collect over the, where they only collect over the last 9 years. But however, this $1 million, now only they don't pay to the government of Salone. So the total sum where they don't pay for the contract, they don't tell we, so we not able for know. Even the report not disclose that. And the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority don't say they don't conduct any vehicle, like they don't count any vehicle since the toll gates don't be constructed. So that's not the overview of the topic where we can talk about today. Now the role of the media, how the media they hold the public go be accountable, it go able for all the public servants then, and also the government of Salone accountable for them contracts them where they happen. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we get people in at the studio. We get for help me for let me talk about this. Welcome back to Vibz N Values on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM. You can also watch me live on Facebook, True Talk FM, and YouTube, True Talk 98.5 FM. If you get any comments, drop them on Facebook. We go read them before the program done. So the topic we discuss today now the role of media in accountable governance, driving the transparency in public contracts. For discuss this with me at the studio, I get for the Moriba Conte, where a writer for the Calbas newspaper. So they welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so I believe say you don't read the IGR report. We talk about the contract for the Wellington Maishaka toll gate and also the NetPage. So waiting you go one for say.
Well, I think say the reports we tag the aid per the case. You know, when I see the name of the reports, you know, it really brings something on my mind. When they tell you say then 2 tier now one of the things they win at the aid per the case. you know, say when you get a case, you get the aid, and when the aid not correct, it means say the entire case they get a lot of issues then. So the report where IGR do, we tag like I said the 8-party case. Look at how government on the sign contract then, but most especially then focus on two contracts then. One, now the Wellington Mashaka toll gate, where we know say under the regime of the former government, and it's by Kroma be signed that contract with CRSG, where now for construct the road from Wellington Tego Mashaka, and that was in 2015. That now been the past government. So when this government been coming, if you look at their manifesto, then we also try for say, okay, these are bad contracts where the past government not sign, and these contracts not actually reflect to reality, and these are contracts where we review when we come into power, you know. And that was it in their manifesto when they come na power. But we don't see from 2018 down the line again on to now, the contract still in existence, and there have been a lot of things that where citizens know they ask with regards to that particular contract. You know, you made mention of a lot of money where then they make, and the royalty where they pay to government. Now, you know, so somebody tell me say I don't know if I use pittance, say it go better than, I don't know what kind of word for use, way lesser than pittance. But you know, it speaks volume as to how we decide the contract they are, waiting we do for signing contract they are, other than the signing contract they are, and waiting at the thing where they actually look at say what will be the benefits to government, or what will be the benefit to the country inside those contracts. Yes, nobody will tell you say the Wellington Mashaka road not fine. Yes, you don't find, you know, today a lot of accidents will happen along that way, but now you know the better small, you know, now they drive smoothly. So some parts, although the road still gets a lot of issues them along the way, pothole, but they can try for maintenance, all of those things. So the contract on it entirely not a bad contract per se, because the contract don't they try for ensure say we give it that good road today. But again, how do we look into those contracts? How are we able for look into the contract and say these are the contract now? And again, sometimes I can ask the question, members of parliament, do they have time to read those contracts before even enacting them in parliament? Because all of those contracts, the way we sign as a country, they pass through parliament. And we have members of parliament elected by the people of this country to go and present their parliament. So which means, if there is a contract the way they come through parliament, that woman where they kubola, not able to know waiting in that contract or waiting for say for that contract. So you as a member of parliament, when they represent that woman at Kubola, and you for able for look at the contract and scrutinize them, able for ask questions, able for see say, oh, okay, no, this contract not good for this particular country. We need for amend A, B, and C. That is the role of a member of parliament. But you see, say our parliament all in favor say aye, all against say nay. That's not the thing, and they don't pass them without even scrutinizing the particular contract. So that is why you see after they don't enact them, we don't sign the contract, we begin to pick up those loopholes in those contracts. And by then, it's too late. Because the time when the contract is before them, I tell them for look at those contracts. So, you look at the Wellington Mashaka contract, the money where they make, you know, is so cool. One, the question has been, how accountable are these people to we as a country? How accountable are they? And so we don't even know how much they collect on a daily basis. We don't know how much they collect on a yearly basis. So if we don't know how they book, and when I look at the topic, the role of the media, the role of the media.
So I just be one for
us.
Yes, waiting na the role where the media they play in order for, you know, inform the citizen them, but the contracts them way can be signed.
You see, the media gets a very big role, and when you do media studies, they tell you say the media like a watchdog, and we they watch for things that will happen. But again, the problem has been that during the signing of those contracts, the media is excluded from it. The media is not part of it. We are not part. We are not in parliament. And even when the contracts are signed, the agreement is not even made public to the media, either for citizens. So you see, say you and I were sitting here, even in the press conference, and when they launched the reports, it was clear that nobody not get access to the contract. So if you not get access to the contract as a journalist, how will you be able to report or for pinpoint on things that were inside the contract? So if you know we get the right to access information, I'll tell you that Sierra Leone as a country, we are still far behind when it comes to information disclosure. That is something. Even though we get a commission, they'll tell you we don't establish the commission of access to information and everything. But when you go for get information, now that particular institution, then it becomes a problem. You know, when they open skelter, you write to them, they write to you, you write to the commission reply, say at the end, you don't even forget access to those information. So the media, like I said, has a role to play when it comes to public accountability, in holding people in governance accountable, in holding members of parliament or when they sign those contracts or waiting they sign the contract, for holding them accountable. We get it right. We get the pin. But again, how do we execute it when, like I said, we don't even have access to the contract? Journalists don't get access to the contract. So how will we pinpoint say, section 3 or clause 3, chapter 3 of the contract say the Chinese government will go into this contract with the government of Sierra Leone as a PPP for pay this amount of royalty to government every year. When you don't even know the contract, you don't even have the contract, you don't even see the contract. So that is again, so that's again the problem again. So I think this is something where very crucial now, that how do they make those things available to the media? And so if it's not in the media domain, then I believe it's a challenge.
But again, the media for educate the citizens and for let them know what the contract to a government they sign. We know say it forgets the contract for it to it's very difficult for the journalists them. But how the journalists them, what are the role way don't they play for educate the citizen them, for let them know say this particular contract, this target, because I remember say I go around town for do a vox pop with drivers them. The driver even tell me say if you say you target we don't for pay for it. I say because you don't pay boku money. And I say no, I say we don't for pay for the target it. So it just they show say like public education all the out there we go educate citizens them, for let them know say oh now this term and this term they pay for the toll gate where we don't, then we can able for use and free without no fee.
Yes, again, we like I said, we get a role for play, for we inform, we educate. That's the role of the media. We inform, hold accountable people in high positions and everything. This is our role. But again, our role, there are a lot of things where they complement we role, right? Mm-hmm. And thank God with the repeal of Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act. Before this time, before the repeal, when you try for investigate on a particular issue, for example, the government has signed a contract with a particular company, you try for investigate for no. The moment you begin for do one, publish 1, 2, the next morning you go see barrage or a truck of police go to your office or storm your house for arrest you. They will tell you say this na libel, this na this na that. So even though you are playing your role as a journalist for hold them accountable, but rather than they see and say na bad they do, so they will come after you for that. So again, how do government ensure say we get the enabling environment for the media for strive, for hold them accountable? And most times I tell you, a good leader is a leader where they accept people for criticizing. When they criticize you, you lapses them, you then go back to the drawing board and sit and see how do I amend A, B, and C. But if somebody criticizes me the next morning I go after them, that means I'm not a good leader. So the media has a role to play, like I said. But again, the role of the media, most times, it don't be suppressed by government. They don't try for suppress and to the extent that sometimes I can even say, does government want to censor the media? Because some of the things that will happen, when you want to bring them to light, the next one, like I say, it's intimidation, harassment, arrest, detention, and all. So, this is the problem. And again, those contracts, you look at the net page contract, when are the passports contract. Yeah. Oh papa. Me sometimes what is happening? Does our leaders actually get the country at heart when they look at those contracts? But again, some politicians or some people are just doing it for their own personal gain. I am gaining, the secret way you don't know. There are some people sitting in their offices, or there are some ministries or agencies where they work with them, where they in line. For example, now you cannot talk about the passport, you get the immigration department where they dey. You know, you cannot talk about the toll gate, you get Minister of Works, you get SLIC, all of those institutions, okay? Yeah. They are working along with them. They have some quotas that, hey, allow these contracts to pass through. This is what the percentage you get every year, or this is what you get every month. So they are doing it to the detriment of the country.
Because according to the reports, SLIS say they don't take any money from that toll gate from where they begin for pay. They don't get no money, not go it in their accounts where be like say this is from the toll gates. So as journalists, these are things they we need for if the money no they go SLRS they know the benefits, they need to get money from the toll gates. So who say exactly all the money they go? Not to the one them to the Chinese man them, CSRG them, not only gets the money. So how we journalists them like is it only now that now events reporting we they do or we need for do more?
Well, I don't say the media entirely they actually focus on event reporting. There are some part of it where has to do with investigative journalism. But let me tell you something. When you look at investigative journalism, it's a very complex something. It has a lot of things in it. It needs finance. It's very expensive. And when you go to other countries, like you happen to travel, I think I don't work with journalists there in Nigeria. I don't go to Senegal. I don't work with journalists in Senegal. They will tell you, even some Ghanaian journalists, they will tell you, if Fodemoiwa Conte is want to do an investigative story on the toll gate, for example, the media house where they work for will be able to give all the necessary support we need for ensure say in do that story at the end and bring whatever thing where they in darkness bring out to light. But in an instance where Sierra Leone, most cases the media is termed as poor, as there is a media poverty, people tend to actually muzzle the truth just because of A, B, and C. Okay? But let's say if there is an example now, we have now they see say we get what we call funds, grants. Grants are coming where journalists are being brought forward to do investigative stories on A, B, and C. Okay? That is the way through. That is how the media is going to be able to bring out those things to light. But again, that's why I don't say the media entirely is based on event reporting, but there are some aspects of media or journalists where they go into investigative journalism. But like I said, it's expensive, it's time consuming, it has everything. So that is why most times you see that some journalists are moving away from it. But I tell you, it is good and it's very impactful and it's contributing to nation building when it comes to it. But again, the media itself, we as citizens in Osalo, we don't come and say there is media poverty. So because of there is media poverty, there's a lot of compromise when it comes to those issues. A lot of media compromise is happening. That is something, even though I'm a journalist, but it's something I'm going to say. Okay? So, but we can able to address them if we're able to go back, we sit as the media, and how do we able to empower media houses them, and now we they see say MRCG and the others, they actually carry this public interest media when they support media houses them for doing investigative reporting on those issues. So if you know say I'm having a fund coming from a private entity supporting me, you don't think say I'm going for do that okay well, I'm going for do it perfectly, because I know say there's a backup. I don't go again and say okay, somebody say okay, well, hey, I don't want to make the story, yeah, this tier hold on for kill a story. Okay, you don't go do that, because you know say you are working with an institution where they support you and you have the integrity of that institution and the project of itself. So by then you're able to do a distinct investigative reporting where we actually shed light on some of the things here where we talk about. So
okay, so the media are very powerful. Then the media they create important role. Yes, the media therefore educate the citizen them. So what thing will happen to the democracy if the media fail for interrogate contract them?
Well, I won't say entirely the media they fail for interrogate contract them, but I will put and say that the media not they able for ensure say we interrogate contract then deeply as to how we for do it, rather than just saying the media. Because yes, you look at the publications, you look at some media houses, there has been some reports on the toll gates. Okay, there has been some reports, there has been some things the way the media don't report as to the gray areas then where they happen in those contracts. Okay, but again, like I said, that if for example now I have to report on the toll gates, example on the toll gates, because I am not privy to the contract, I cannot go deep into the contract because I'm not privy to it. So how I go tell you say, according, because we are journalists, sometimes we report the news. Okay, if you have to talk on now, you want to talk about the contract. If we will say, okay, according to this section in the contract, you say the government of Salon they get this and the Chinese they get this. Okay, but we don't see over the years this thing where they say the government forget where they pay the contract, the government not they get them.
Yeah.
So that is how we do it. That is how you don't bring out those things to light. Okay, for example, again, even this passports contract, there is a lot surrounding the contract, a lot where surround the contract.
Because we see recently where the anti-corruption say they investigate the passport business now, immigration.
You know, there is a lot where surround the contract. And the last time in this same platform, this same media, I've been talk about that particular passport contract.
Page.
Yes. And one thing where people don't understand. Someone tell me say, hey, they don't renew the contract. No. The contract has not been renewed. But what happened? There is a caveat in the contract where I won't say members of parliament were not aware. I won't say government was not aware. They were aware about it. There is a 6 months clause in the contract where say within the 6 months the contract is going to be renewed. So when they not renew it, the next page are still enjoying that 6 months period within the contract. So they are enjoying it. They are doing all what they want to do. So, what's up members of parliament every day when they not be see that particular thing, or they see about the turn blind eyes to her?
Yeah.
Then turn blind eye to her because me and sometimes I don't just like for make allegation there. But I don't even for make allegation there. But sometimes we need to ask them questions. They are there to represent the people and not themselves. Okay? So if you are representing the people, what una they do when they contract come before una? We don't see several contracts where don't they come before them. We at the end, where they don't pass at all, we begin to see the gray areas.
We begin to see the mistakes.
Do they have time to read?
So it's like they know they scrutinize the contracts, them, you know they read them.
I will say this. With parliament, where we get, has a role to play. With parliament gets big role to play. Now you make when at the area now we are talking about constitutional review process, it only happen, everybody talk about constitution, and with the constitutional review process, they don't try to give the parliament power now. Why? Because like before, for removal of a vice president, we see what happen with Alex Baikoma, and now waiting they try for put it now inside the new constitutional review, then they now put the responsibility on parliament. Say if you are removed, you remember you vice president, you need for go to parliament, you get 2/3 of the votes of parliament. This will parliament will get so. This will parliament where we get where any governance who is in power, and they in charge of parliament, pap, and they capture her. So if for example now this current government we get, President Yo, I not say only Saka, but if we say one sack VP now, now we say we don't enact the new constitution now. That particular thing is being taken to parliament. What do you think? You don't think say SAPP they get the vote for them pull the vice president at power? Then they get her. Because this is how a parliament is built. We see what happened with the Auditor General, La Pias. We see what happened at parliament. They are 2/3. So parliament has a role to play in all of those contracts. No contract no their way we they go into when they pass through parliament. I think say we members of parliament they need for ensure say they actually begin for scrutinize. Let them they read. I believe say most of them go school. Let them go they read. Let them go sit down and they read the agreement that when they pass before them, line by line, chapter by chapter. Look at this. What's that gray area? Fen marker day. where you go to parliament, grab and ask question. Ask question. Say, hey, as he say section 18 of this particular contract say, now this and this and this. Hey, let me deliberate on them. Ask those questions.
Okay. So I want to ask from a journalist perspective, you know, the last time where the toll gate issue came up, it was in 2024 where they want to increase the toll gate fee, then also look at the contract where we don't sign in 2015. So from 2014 to now, you as a journalist, you be don't write any reports, you know, saying this fee where people then they pay now this toll gate is too much, or not doing that thing they no more like where we can say the news they trend.
It's not if you get you phone, you can go now. They look for that Wellington Masheka toll gate.
Yeah.
There is an article written by me where get follow with that particular contract and the road of itself.
That was in 2020.
Yes, even look at the aspect of the substandard of the road that they give you. That road, if you look at Wellington, where again motka, I still go up and down, I still go up and down. So, oh my goodness, a road where not even take Amosi I hate. Every day they patch up, every day they patch that would be. So, how me even question the quality of the road when they give you so what they pay for me. I question the quality of the road because for me I think I say that road for me it's a substandard road they make for you. So what would they pay for? Boku money. Where would they pay for? We picking about they even they can't pay for that particular road because the interview we do the driver they say if we don't pay for tell us now 27 years ago we can't pay for that road for 27 good years. We will be paying for that road. Come on. So again, yes. Like with the travel sake, the media, we have a role to play. And this is something that we should do. Although most times we get a lot of issues along the way in doing it, but for continue for doing. Because even with that story where I put out about the Wellington Masheka toll gate, there were a lot of calls. Why you do so? Why you do so? You know, and the problem. This is something I would say. Me are the parts of the media. So I know they can't see they talk fine about the media. No sign of the way not get issues. Okay? But I believe say the interest on the media interest on certain institutions them don't they increase too much. They not say journalists not they get paddy. But journalists in paddy forget limits. Not make paddy and say to the extent where you know they able to bring out that bad thing where you paddy they do. And that is the point where we don't reach most times. Because if when you publish something, they say a colleague journal will call you, hello, but that institution where you publish was so no say I'm interest that day. So how you asking about your interest than the interest of this country? And this is the thing that is happening. They will call you, hey no, like no that story there, you know, say I'm interest that day, that we institution and that day, you know. So because of all of those things, they make say, how do we report these stories now? When we don't make party with all of them people in now. So even if they are doing A, B, and C that is bad, you tend to cover up it because you are a friend to that institution. And that is bad. So I think say we need for look at again, we roll, how we play them, what we for do, and how we make friends, and ensure say we utmost role now for public interest. Whatever thing are we doing? Is it of the public interest? If we are publishing a story, how would that story impact public? That should be the thing. But again, they will tell you it's because Sierra Leone and media is poor. And that is why all of those things are happening.
So they ever say like any reporting and even doing investigation, journalists then it take sides, then can try for be bias in reporting.
Well, you know, there is this thing where they look at, say, independence of the media. And again, you look at, say, the word they campaign, but the word they go, the word we are for use about when it comes to the media, you know, it's really challenging for you get make you play you journalism without any bias or so, because one way or the other you must get one or two interests, and which to me is bad. You know, the media for be independent, but is independent the media again in Sierra Leone when you get a lot of interference, a lot of things that wouldn't happen over the years where you dey see, say for example now, the head for me salon we problem dem beaucoup, but for let we solve some of them problem in day now, some of we lost them we need for amend. You know, when this constitutional review process dey on, me I glad it. But again, not to for review the constitution at the thing. Now, how do we review the constitution for the interest of the country?
Yeah. For
Okay,
the citizens.
for the interest of citizens. For me, if as you don't right now they ask me, what are the one thing we want for see inside the new constitution? The one thing where I will say that hey, let us remove the powers of the president. Some of the power, let we call down on the president in power. And one of the big power there, when me they call for let we cut from the presidency, that the appointment of certain heads of certain institutions in this country.
So why?
Those institutions that plays critical role towards the accountability, the democracy, the transparency of this country. For example, now we cannot talk about anti-corruption commission, for example. Okay, the head of the anti-corruption is appointed by who?
The president.
By the president. You look at audit service Sierra Leone. The head of audit service Sierra Leone is appointed by who?
The president.
The president. You go to the judiciary, the chief justice is appointed by who? The president.
But
you go to the IG of police, he's appointed by the president. So, you cannot buy the finger that fits you.
But again,
That is something that is clear.
the appointments and presidents they give, but the people then for the work for the interest of the citizen there.
That is why I said you cannot buy the finger that fits you now. If I appoint you, not work towards your wife, mama, they put the commodity the next minute. And we only get few Sierra Leoneans. We don't prove to the highest integrity to say, if you cannot allow me to do my job in my own way, I will resign. There are few. I don't have to name the name, but we have few where I can point out, say, this is a man of integrity. The man resigned because he thinks that I should do my own way as of the best interest of the country, and not to maybe even you will appoint me to this office.
Okay.
But most times you see that people who are appointed, they work towards the interest of those people that will appoint them rather than working to the interest of the country. So if when we review the constitution, so they'll pull them power and they'll find a way. How do we appoint them? You know, and even with the new they look at the tripartite recommendation and everything, where now they can give more power to the judiciary for even say like after where the ECSN don't call the results, if I go through the court and the court for give the final verdict on that, the chief justice is appointed by the president, and when I oversee the judiciary, there is a problem. Oh. We go still announce election at this country here. We still go back to the same thing when it happen. You look at petitions before the courts. You see petitions from the opposition done there for years without they even look at them. So we look at all of those things then. Okay, how do we look at those contracts? Those people where then they put na them place then they are they working for the interest of the country, or they are working for the one we appoint them? So because if you are working for the interest of the country, you look at all of those things and these are things that we able for pick out. So we as a media, I don't dispute the fact, say we don't get a role. Yes, we don't get a role. And in somehow, I will say, maybe we're not going to play we role fine one for look into those reports, for look into those contracts. But again, those contracts, are they available for us to see, for us to scrutinize them? Some of those contracts are signed behind closed doors that we don't know. We are not there. We don't know what is in the contract. How can you hold somebody accountable when you don't know what is even in the contract? I cannot hold government accountable when I don't know about the contract now. I won't hold you accountable if I know about the contract. Say, wait, so government, that that contract will be signed. I think say there is a section or section 3 of that contract say now this and this una for do. But wait, so una not the do one? No, government not the do one. You ask the question now to government. Or maybe like now where they say the next page contract, they will pay what they call royalty to government.
Yeah.
And so now where would everybody still make you know say there is a royalty with the people to government? So if the contract is not available, you don't know say there is this clause where they talk about you of the next page paying the royalty to government. How do you hold them accountable? How do you ask the question? Say, hey, when I don't pay, well, you don't even know say they for pay. So again, I think say information disclosure is very key in all of them things they are. For the media for hold accountable, look at what is happening. Some of them mining contract that you see with a website contract or with mining coming there or 100 years, 50 years, 30 years, 40 years. Look at those contracts. We don't even know what is in the contract. You a lawyer, you are a journalist, right?
Yeah.
We don't sign this contract with Schumann for the new airport. You know about the contract?
No.
Have you seen the contract?
Not.
So how do you able to hold them accountable to say, hey, that contract was signed with Schumann for Bila airport now so and so and so and so. Now you write to the institution responsible say you have to get a copy of that contract.
They know they
but you go work at against. If you go through the commission, right to access information commission. Now just hey, Salon, a black and white commission they'll get. We not get commission the way really they work, yeah? Now black and white. Now make most times when we can just know we see say Salon has been ranked second in terms of information disclosure. Not all thing that happen at the ground. Now what thing that they see in black and white so they present to them. The policies there. And most of Salon, why we don't they get high grades when it comes to international ranking, I'll tell you. Even in terms of corruption, Salon the index we don't win now. We don't win the fight against corruption. We don't come second. We don't come first in the fights. Not all what thing that happen in country. Now the policy the way they put what they present to them. That is what they are looking to evaluate. Sometimes I can tell they say, una can the gun.
Yeah, for no.
Una can the gun, una can know what thing that happen at the gun.
Yes.
So before they go give them pass mark, una can the gun. Now F9 they will get. You do a survey now, you can promo say are they gonna country at the free to right now, like go season about A, B, and C. But when they count this report, you see our economy is bloom, our economy is stable, our economy. Go to that mommy wearing a market, they go ask about the economy. If you tell what happened about the economy, or you go ask somebody wearing at the country, when an economist, they give a whole analysis about the economy. It's deplorable, but they are painting a picture about us having a very beautiful economy. So those contracts where we they sign year in year out, government in government out, because this contract they had APC, SLPP, because the only two parties that this where they will be right now. Then they sign the contract they are. Where APC be sign the contract and then hey, this is a bad contract. Now they sign. Una wait, una vote we in. When we can, we review the contract. Now under the tenor, and they don't care ace the fee of the toll gate. So hey. Salona country.
And even when I ask citizens, they say then they hope and pray say the toll gate fee will be reduced. Like how it been there before, because right now I think say them big trailer then they pay like 150. Then Poda them where they go from Bombay to Waterloo, then they pay 10 leon if you get for go. Then if they return back, you pay 10 leon. So if you get a 5 trip for a day, just no say you pay.
Citizen there, una the citizen they will talk. Me I dey even cry. But that's all about thing. Now they don't go up so they cannot. Now they cannot. Salome thing go up for they cannot. Okay, what it be beat me imagination. Now when the minister of works and public assets was the public relation officer for CIG when it comes to the increase of that toll gate. Oh my goodness.
In 2024.
24, he was defending. He was actually defending. No, there is a need for increase. There is a need for increase. Even though you look at what were the packages there. By right, they for build markets them. therefore make all of those things. He not go check for see if all them said it happen. What he was doing was they get right for increase. He don't say what, they don't sign the contract. They get right for increase. And the reason why them increase, they tell you say, as of the time where them sign the contract in 2015, the rate of dollar be the A, B, and C.
Yes.
So then they say now, from 2015 to 2024, the dollar don't go up. So then they run at loss. So they need for increase. But they don't look at the again the side by the contracts where tell them say, therefore do A, B, and C per the road. They don't look at that too. They look at their own side. Also then the benefits, and they look at. Then they left the side where talk about what will be their responsibility within the road. So again, Salone, like a fine country, but we get people in this country are politicians, government in, government out, where they sign contract just for then think say like for benefit themselves, not for the interest of the public good or for the interest of the country. I think that is clear. That is clear in all of the contract them where they're on the side. Look at most of those contracts. You go see say there is a policy where they sit down say, hey, hello, but this company na me counter or this company I get shares there. So whatever contract we don't forget that contract they for pass. That's why they sign the contract there. So we don't even look at begin for scrutinize the contract, look at what's in inside the contract. How will you pay $100 for a passport where even we currency what they use as Salone, not a dollar, alios. Then you go tag a whole contract in $1. Hey, Salone, no. Dollar, we don't use dollar, we not alios.
So the actual price for a passport is $100. But when you go, you say you want passport, me and you know say you get for pay pass $100. So as journalists, you don't raise any, don't write bottom for like educate the citizens and let them know say these are the actual passport for the pass when are $100. So if you go for go take passport, anybody asks you for so and so, no give report so.
Before I come here, I be make I go apply for my license. I say I don't apply for that license day from November
last year
November. They tell me say I can take my license December 5. I go for take my license December 5. They say license all day. Why? Because when we go first, they don't say me na journalist first. Also I say hey Kolwata, I say me not the Kolwata business. Me na journalist. Me not the give Kolwata. Waiting they say na here for pay, na here they pay. So now you talk about for let me educate the public say the passport na $100. So anything above $100 they don't forgive. When that mommy don't go for go taking passport now, they tell and say, hey, yeah, get for left Kolwata, you know left. That mommy he go work and say against for that passport day. Just because do it in it says here is Rome. When you come to Rome, you do as Rome then do me. Not outside they go and do what you Rome do. If what Rome's are doing, what they are doing in Rome is not correct, I know they do it. But again, how do we have with people that want to work at their institution and how they work with integrity? How do they work with all of those things? Because you go sit down here and talk on a radio, now True Talk Radio. Okay, where you go for your passport, please, and shorten another number you pay. If they ask you for any other thing, no agree. That woman want for travel now. He don't go there. Then tell her say the woman need the passport within 1 week or 2 weeks. Then tell her say this small thing not agree. He work. They know the month and pin and corner. And because that woman want a passport, he want for travel, he go just do what he tell her for do. So, but if we get people the way they work at the institution and we get integrity for say the price to a passport is $100. Pay $100 and you are done. But again, before you go first, now get to the begin it first. Where is only first? And then take it to this, and then take it to this, and then take it to this, and take it to that. So by the time we don't come on there, just like what you say, now make even when they do the launch of the report, somebody say, hey, you don't pass $100, you don't pass $100. What they say $100? Because the money they spend for getter, it pass $100. But how do we try to look at it? And I believe say the 6 months they can elapse So which means that contract they get for go back na parliament.
For make parliament debate on them.
Yes. But members of parliament say, I mean this 3 people na sham na I mean. Sometimes whenever they pass them before, some were sleeping. But this trip, let them look into that report, let them look into the agreement and scrutinize the agreement.
Because Sierra Leone gets the, I think na the region with passport very expensive.
We get the most
we get one
expensive passport. And you look at other countries like Senegal, when a passport they around $40 to $50, then get very it gets security features them pana. You look at we neighboring countries like Liberia, the passport they not reach $100 now, but they used to go any side of for travel. So what is the difference between our passport and the other passport that the sub-region? Well, passports is expensive pass all. Members of parliament, government, let's look at those agreements before we pass them. No, not just they watch agreement and pass because you get small thing where they can in your pocket. But remember, for the general good, say, hey, this contract where they pass right now, I don't peg a passport to $1, $100. We pick it and get for the go take out. See, the person when na Kubola, where one for travel, you expect for it go get $100. So the contract for go back to parliament. Parliament need for ensure say this time around, let them pay attention. Let them read the agreement line by line. And look at Sarah gray area and they pick them out and debate on them. At the end, when they pass the agreement, let it be for the interest of the people of this country.
And also make it not only be the interest, let it also make the contract available, because like you say journalists they know they get access to the contract. So this time around, when they come back for can look at the contract, let them make it available, because journalists then go want for one do public education for let the citizen because citizens need for know why it pay $100 for a passport.
But I will tell you say
and if you look I don't know what I mean, they say even the passport if you take an out for let them go give visa and for just like first then they give American visa and for just 3 years, whereas other countries they then they give American visa and like 5 years. So if parliament therefore will look again into the contract and let them make the contract available, make them not just say this will be left until we say, because we vote them and put them there and for them for the work for your own interest and not for their own interest.
Yeah, well, now what they try for talk, and this is the whole now way we play. So this is the whole of the media.
Yes, so
one of the whole them now for they talk to members of parliament there. They tell them say sometimes when a contractor go before them, or aside from even that contracting, when we can get agreement and waiting for them, when they tell them say hey, this and this and this. But again, Salon most times I hear politicians they say allow them let them write what they write say them go tap for right. We will do to one for do. That is not a good leader. A leader what they say we allow them let them write and they want write. The official and journalists they tap for right. Allow them let them write.
So to me, I tell like say it's like the politicians them don't already know say there is media poverty, and certainly there are some journalists them where don't they settle for the brown envelope. So the politicians they know how for quiet the journalists. Maybe now that makes some journalists know they investigate and put out sensitive information.
Well, again, it depends. I know say, of course, Salo with media over there we don't brand down as poverty, media poverty, media poverty, media poverty. Now we don't brand media pa. But again, for me, you cannot rely on the poverty, the poorness of the media at the detriment of the country.
Yeah.
Okay, even there is media poverty, but your integrity as a journalist count a lot. Okay, if they go give you one or something for let you no report on this particular thing we get for do with the entire country as a policy alone, you accept them, you do them, you don't mortgage your integrity. Tomorrow posterity will tell on you, say, hey, you been get a moment for let you write, for let you actually speak on those things, but you don't speak on them because of just a pittance. Because of pittance. So I think say as journalists we get a role for play. And that role we for ensure say we put we country first in everything we do. In our work, put your country first. If you get an instance to say there is a you want for balance between your self-interest and that of the interest of the country, for me, if the country own for pass you, because the country own therefore do with thousands of people, millions, rather than you just benefiting when are just for a few moments. Okay, they can't give you money right now. That money day after 1 month, 2 months, that money don't know. They don't go allow a contract wait for be signed, wait go there for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. I'm just saying. Okay, so this is the thing. The integrity for be the utmost in when they do your job. Yes, I understand say sometimes it can be very challenging for in us doing our work. Okay, a lot of intimidation, like I said, a lot of harassment, but somebody must have to stand for something.
Yeah.
You know, there is this wise say, if you don't stand for something, you fall for nothing. So it's high time to actually try for ensure say we do and try for stand for something, and in all of those things then let we ensure say we put the country first in all of these things we do.
Okay, so fam will make a member. You say the program where they listen to on our Vibz N Values will come to you on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM. You also they watch it live on Facebook True Talk FM and YouTube True Talk 98.5 FM. We don't talk about the new reports where IGL pull with entitled the 8 panic case. How government contracts then be signed. We talk about the Wellington Maishaka Gate and also the next page contract. With me guest at the studio don't be na for the Moriba Conte, where na a staff writer and the Kalbash newspaper. We don't talk about the role where the media they play, hold the accountable governance, driving transparency in public contracts. We will go Facebook and check if we get comments them now. Okay, so there is a question here for you. This person they ask saying, does reporting without access to contract weaken the credibility of investigative journalism, even when the story is true?
Okay. When you want to report, for example, I want to report on the Wellington Mashekato Gate. Waiting go be your basis of reporting on that thing is the contract. The contract is there. You look at the contract firstly before you report. You for able to look at the report of the contract of itself. You read through the entire contract. Okay. Then you also get what you call field visits and look at what is happening and everything. Okay. But the contract here will actually help you for know waiting we go into. So if you go into the reporting now, you don't get a base of say in 2015 the government of Salon be enter into an agreement with this Chinese company for the construction of Wellington Masheka Road. According to the contract, the government na A, B, and C role, and the role of the Chinese na A, B, and C. The role for expand. So the contract is giving you the whole analysis of the reporting, where they help for let people able for me. I don't like you can't do an investigative reporting begin say according to a close source, according to information where you know those are not investigative reporting.
No, the sources how you get the information for being make known.
Yes, but how? For example, now law says something you just dey pass somebody who reach part so you say, hey, government that contract is signed. You go say according to close source, according to no, that's not proper reporting. For you report properly on it, you have to get all of those information in your decks and you're able to report properly on it. So yes, you can report on that particular issue and day, even though without access to the reports. But again, what I'm saying, access to the report they give more edge follow you report deeply into the contract, follow you know waiting and waiting inside the contract and bring those things to light.
All right. The other question here is that the refusal to publish contracts a deliberate strategy to avoid media scrutiny and public pressure?
Yes, I would say yes. That are the thing, because I know say if that contract available to we, that the media will use that contract for the ask them, question them. So now you make most times those contracts then they're not make available to the media, because if the their contract and they're available to we the media, they will able to look at their contract and they ask question there. But because they don't want for them we scrutinize them, they don't want for them we ask them critical questions. Now you make those contracts are just kept now they shelf them without making it public. Even though when they get the information disclosure, you get the right to access information, you say therefore disclose some of those contracts, and these are public contracts. They are not a contract where they go sign say now for themselves. Now public contract. So because they are public contracts, they should be made available to the public. They should not only for the media, but even the entire public for get access to the document a day. Yeah. Because it has to do with them. It has to do with them as citizens.
Yeah.
Who are paying for the road? It's us.
Targets, yeah.
We are paying for the road.
The citizens.
We are paying for it. So if we are paying for it, most of them, hey God, let them begin break the convoy there. Let them begin pay for the toll gate. Let them convoy those they can pass. Bill. Let them go to break them and pay for the toll gate.
Yeah.
Just like how would they pay for the toll gate? Then they're going to pay. And we are paying for the toll gate. So if we are paying for your citizens there, I believe say we'll get access to those contracts now.
Yeah. So as we wrap up the program for today, going forward, what do you think say na the role where the media not be done they play before we need for play now in educating and also investigating the public contracts?
Yes, the media we don't try. We don't play a role in terms of scrutinizing or in terms of asking questions when it comes to public contract. But let we continue to go deeper. Let we go deeper. Let we ask the questions they will for ask, and let we find answers to those questions they will ask. Yes, it's challenging. It's something I will tell you. It's really challenging when it comes to access to information. And journalists, we go able to do we work fine one when information is available to us.
Sure.
Because this is something where, sometimes I can talk say most time with government offices them don't they contribute to the spread of misinformation and disinformation in the country. They don't contribute. Because for example now, if I go now online right now, I see they say, okay, Ministry of Information and Communication, they employ 2,000 people there. I see how somebody they make them. I forget the right as a journalist, reach out to the ministry. Hey, there is thing circulating on social media about this. Can you confirm? So the moment he confirm to me go debunk and say, hey, that's where they pass. So not true according to the Ministry of Information. But sometimes, even though when you get that thing there, you go there be an for them to even confirm to you, or for them to give that information, say, okay, no, this is not true, this is true. You go there be an for them to give that information. So sometimes, before you know it, the information don't spread. And so, the aspect of all of those misinformation, everything, government institutions has a role.
Okay.
And how we for mitigate all of those things?
Mm-hmm.
Now when we work together, governments foresee the media not as enemy, but they foresee as people that where they partner for let things happen. When a journalist don't publish something about your institution, where you think say get one or two issues them, reach out to them, say okay, well, these are the facts. But again, what you may most times say, this is not correct. Now because that journalist don't make several efforts for reach out to the institution responsible for them to provide the right information to them. They do it. They do it at all. They go in Tony. The way journalists publish now, they say, hey, look at that. Just quite recently, I'm doing a project with we media house, now one of the media house, we begin a public interest fund for the investigative stories.
Oh,
Okay. We are doing on child mining at key districts, Kailao, Kenema, and Kono. Okay. When we dey go for do the investigation, we cannot get them. When you come, even when you go to the Ministry of Social Welfare and say, this and this, which I don't find at the ground, okay, but we need una own make for the allegation. For example, now, what thing they do now, then this and the day for ensure say pikin and not go now, then mine inside the day. I write letter to the permanent secretary. I waka they tell me against. After we waka, say before they go person no man akono. So na cause this person akono. You know, so it takes a lot of time for them for them publish a story for be published in November. It takes us to December for you for publish that story. And I not be just want for publish the story because I want for publisher. I wanted to get everything correct, all side.
Yeah.
Go on NMA. For them to get NMA again, it was a challenge for get them for contribute.
Is there a specific reason why they not can disclose information na the public offices then?
Oh well, sometimes
As a journalist, you know, ask it.
you know, sometimes I tell you, if for example now you want for dig into the contract, let's say you go now Ministry of Works or SLRSA, you want dig into the contract, okay? Because they not say one or two things the way that they do will not correct, they not go and follow you dig. Because the more you dig, the more you get to know a lot of things them where you go bring them out to
the public.
Yes, to the public. Say now this they do, now this they do. Okay, like for example now that story what they do. There is this institution tell we say they get monitors them. I went to the field, there were no monitors. But in black and white it says we get monitors. They will don't put where they monitor inside and they for see say picking and not go there. But when you go at the ground, there are no monitors. And they are paying those monitors, but they are not going to do their work. So by the time you begin to see all of those things and then graveyard and they you begin picking them out, that is why most times when see say, hey, no, not give them we give them that information, they go use them for publish this now. You know, but again, like I said, then for Siri as people the way they work together. We are not there as a witch hunt, but we did it for ensure say we bring out some of the things that where they happen out to the public, let them know. Okay? You know, but sometimes when I tell for do with them, they say, hey, they call me the media on a car. When they get a workshop there, because they don't say at the end, now there they go portray. So they want the media. But when it comes to you doing investigative journalism into what they are doing, they will see you as an enemy.
Yeah, now that's make what being starter asked if the media then focus more on event reporting rather than investigating some of the issues then. Because if you look at, it's not only the Wellington Maishaka gate, we also get the Freetown airport. We don't know waiting at the contract will be signed. They will make they take airport fee. So I don't know. If as journalists you don't even think for such, but that's also
we not only they say it's event-based journalism we are doing. Yes, event-based journalism is part of it, of course, but journalists we are also doing investigative journalism.
okay.
But like I said, it's it's time-consuming. It's very expensive. That is something I won't tell you. For example, the story we are doing, for example, now Komoya, I go Kono, I get to go sleep now Kono, a hotel, I get for need internal transportation for the go to the site, come they do interviews, I get for ensure say feeding get for day and everything get for day. So and most times at media houses, it's really challenging for them supports you for go and do investigative journalism. So that's why most times you see say journalists are just based in Freetown doing events reporting, where there is a program you go to report, there is a program you go to report, there is a program you go to report. Because the thing for you do investigative journalism, it entails, it has a whole lot of it.
Okay. So what thing will be you find a word to your colleague journalists then in the role where they for play for educate citizens, then also investigate for no but public contracts then for let accountability and transparency go there.
The media win a watchdog. we have a role to play to ensure that we informed the public. Some aspect we entertain them, we educate them about what is happening. Holding government accountable is part of our role and responsibility. When there are public contract or public agreement or whatever that is of the public interest, we should be able to ensure that we dig into those issues and bring them to the limelight.
Okay.
In the course of doing it, it might be challenging. Sometimes you face harassment, sometimes you face detention, sometimes you face intimidation, in all of those things. But that is what keeps you going. In the midst of all of those things, ensure say we continue to do a role as journalists by holding people accountable, especially government officials. We must hold them accountable. We should not be tired of it, even though, like I said, it's challenging, but let us keep the fire burning. Okay? We've had journalists in other countries that are making waves. It's challenging for them, but they make their way and they're able to ensure say they do their role as media practitioners. So public contracts, they are not an exemption. Let us go into those contracts, dig into those contracts, know what is in those contracts. And to government, please, Ministry of Information, right to access information, help us so that we'll have access to those contracts or to information that are very crucial for the betterment or development of this country. Unless that is happened, then we will forget issues when it comes to reporting. Because sometimes say, hey, journalists, look what you don't report. You don't even sabi self what's inside the contract. You don't even know the truth self. Look what in the reports. So you help and follow you know the truth. By gear the reports. By make the information way for make available to them. Make available to them. That if you don't get now all waiting if you know, they will end up publish or broadcast the wrong one, they now know sin in fault. But if you don't get time, instead they build a story on what you get. The information we are available to run, they use. So if now one on identify source, now you get that information there. When they write the story, you make according to identify source or according to like let the time the woman they can use. According to an insider from the Ministry of Information, it disclosed that. So you see, because that is what is happening.
Okay.
So, but when these are made known to us as journalists, then we'll be able to ensure that we use them to hold them accountable, not to hold them or not to forego servers witch hunts to them, but rather we hold them accountable so they'll be able to be accountable for whatever thing they are doing.
Okay, so we get one question for you in our Facebook. This person they ask, they say, what do you think oversight bodies responsible for monitoring such contracts should learn from this?
What we think, and the fact say, when you do oversight, do it diligently. Yes, there are whole committees in Parliament. So even those oversight again, they are also has to do with Parliament. So even the committees in Parliament, example, you get committee of transport and aviation in Parliament, committee in transparency, committee of this, committee that. So all of those committees again, they also get that big role for play. When una go do an oversight committee, do one diligently. But me, I don't go for oversight there. I don't go for oversight them. Where was this oversight we went for? Before we dey go na the ground for the members of Parliament and go see actually what thing dey happen. They held a meeting. In that meeting, journalists were asked out of the hall. Out of the hall. They say, hey, yeah, now we and the community they can't talk here. All journalists will go outside. It happened before me. So what are you discussing that you don't want the media to be part of? That you are doing oversight. Not a personal oversight, but this is an oversight how an institution don't use this particular money when they give them for do A, B, and C. So again, members of Parliament, The question say, moving forward, let your oversight be accountable. Let your oversight be transparent. Let your oversight be good. When you do your oversight, good one. So when they see ya, just like what they say, therefore you pick them out.
Yeah.
You don't ever see the oversight committee go that the road bank, go to the toll gate, go look at the toll gate, say, hey, I come to the contract and be saying that the bill market, oh, we don't count oversight now. What the market there? I come to the contract and be say, when I put, for example, street lights them. We don't count, we don't see street light them. Then that one should say, oh, you guys are doing oversight, you are doing your work. But again, you know, say parliament, when you talk, they go say, then get they say contempt of parliament. But most of the oversight now, somebody go send a brown envelope oversight. Parliament is doing.
Okay.
Because we are actually not seeing what they are doing when it comes to oversight. We are not. Then go today, when I go to oversight, then go sit down first in one meeting. You an institution where I go to oversight, or a closed door meeting. After I talk at the end, hey, you want for comment now? You guys are doing good. You guys are doing good. Oh, this contract is really good. The work is going. That's all I think. Pressing. At the end, when I left the real thing is not being done. Then you call that oversight? He said, no, that is not an oversight. Oversight is go to the ground, look at the gray areas, pick out those gray areas. Say, according to the project contract, you should construct A, B, and C. Look at this construction. This is substandard. This should not be like this.
Yeah.
This should be like this. Change this. Work like this. That is what oversight is all about.
Okay.
Out of Ogonomo, now go take pictures. Some of those oversights are for the cameras. They are for the cameras. You go there, they take beautiful pictures, post them on social media. We've held oversight committee meeting with ABND institution. They post on Facebook. That is all the thing about oversight. When have you seen oversight where they bring out issues them? They are not. All of the oversight, they are good. Nobody can tell me all of the institutions working, they are all doing what they are supposed to do. There are gray areas, but they are not bringing them out. So moving forward, oversight committees in parliament, do your work diligently for the benefit of this country.
Okay. Plenty thank you for the Moriba content we join we in the studio today for talk about this IGR report when the aid party case, the politics and revenue failures in Sierra Leone. Thank you so much for coming. So Fambul, we already talk about the role where the media they play for whole government officials accountable for them public contracts the modern case side. According to IGR report, where they pull and say it is show the reports they show say an average of $21 million nine raised from the Wellington Maishaka to Great Road every year. It amounts to an estimated 172 million, and that they show say we don't collect over 9 years. 9 governments don't collect the money there, but now only 1 million don't be paid to the governments of Salon revenue for the same 9-year period. So the total amount we don't pay for the contracts, the report not disclose them. So SLRA say they don't hold any money, like they don't get any money from the toll gate fee where then they collect every day. You go read more about this report. You can search www.org Institute for Governance Reform. The report, the full report then at the website. You can download them, read, and also you go reach out to True Talk. You can leave a comment at our Facebook page or even with TikTok and with Instagram page. We go respond to them. Plenty thank you to for the way joining at the program today. Me will don't be your host for today. Me na Elfrida Sam. Until then, bye bye. See you tomorrow for another edition of Vibz N Values.